the Champions League. A realm of reverence has to be passed along the Champions League in the same way that a round of reverence has to be passed on to the room that I'm currently sitting in, because I made it back. I'm very happy to report that I've made it back from yet another instance of my time on the run. Now, we only have a couple of days together. Don't worry, there will be Zealandisms to keep you company while I'm gone. My family has decided that it is a good idea to take a giant family trip rafting down the Colorado River. So I will essentially be off the grid for a week, which means that there are some Zealandisms that are coming up that are going to be very off topic, kind of like the intro to this video, because we're actually talking about a VAR ref getting arrested a few hours before a match, which is very fun, very entertaining story we have on tap. But the Zealandisms over that week where I am off the grid, those are going to be recorded about more kind of, if something crazy happens while I'm off the grid for a week, I won't be able to talk about it for a week. I'm just letting you know. Those other Zealandisms are going to be about, what they're always about, me just talking about things that I'm interested in that I find interesting. So hopefully that those are able to keep you company while I am gone for that week. But now to the Champions League and reverence and all those things that have nothing to do with Zealandism. A guy named Bartosz Frankowski. Okay, that's who we're focused on today, because this has to do with a Champions League match between Rangers and Dynamo Kyiv. This match was set to happen on Tuesday. It did happen. It was played in Poland, where Ukrainian clubs have been hosting a few of their European matches during the war, and Rangers and Dynamo Kyiv ended up with a draw. Now, if you go on Flash Score here and you click and you scroll all the way down, you'll see the referee is a Lithuanian guy named Rumsas. But he was supposed to have a different VAR official than the one that actually ended up being there, because the main VAR official, Bartosz Frankowski, was, let me see if I can find this, was arrested. He was arrested. The report says that the arrests were made around 1:43 a.m. local time, 1:43 in the morning, the night before the Champions League. Okay, look, this blows my mind for a couple of different reasons, right? One, why are you out the night before a Champions? Look, I get it, right? You're officiating, okay, but there's still a level of decorum, and maybe I just have the wool over my eyes, right? Maybe I just don't understand how relaxed you can be about things like VAR in a Champions League qualifier. Sorry, there's a siren going by. Hey, hold that thought. Just a moment. The authorities have, I might have to go on the run again. They've almost found me. Okay, I believe the authorities have departed. This time, it's Inverness Caledonian Thistle. Those are the ones that have been looking for me. I was able to smooth things over with the CIA. We'll see how all of that develops. But fortunately, most of that is a joke. And unfortunately for this guy, this is not a joke. What was I talking about? The decorum? Yeah, what the hell, man? I mean, this is not as bad as that story of the referee from the Netherlands celebrating with the team that he ended up giving like a last-second penalty to after the match. Like he was singing at their kind of their post-promotion or title celebration or whatever it was. But this is definitely wild. Like here's the thing. It is one thing to have a beer with your friends, right? Or maybe two, maybe even three if it's like in the hotel lobby or something, right? Before this match. Now, if you're not the official that's running around on the field or the linesman, there's no real physical requirement. The fourth official, the VAR official, you are just sitting there as long as you are of clear-headedness. I don't necessarily see a problem with maybe even staying up late. Maybe you watch a movie. Maybe it's Titanic. Maybe you cry. Maybe you eat a bunch of popcorn and have a wonderful time. Maybe you eat that popcorn with Junior Mints because you're a member of high society that understands that is the way popcorn was meant to be consumed, in which case, congratulations to you. Here's your, official I'm part of higher society medal. But what doesn't make sense to me, because, if you've ever had a drink before, you understand there is a difference between what I'm talking about, beer or two at the hotel bar or whatever, and getting drunk enough to get arrested, okay? And he was arrested for destroying road infrastructure. So I will give this guy a shout out, right? Because he was not arrested for some sort of violent crime. He was not arrested for attacking somebody or vandalizing somebody's private property in some sort of malicious way. It is clear that this guy is at least not like an awful human being, right? That we're not talking about a type of an arrest that has to do with an awful human being. Instead, what we're talking about is at around 1:40 in the morning, we received a report of 3 men carrying a road sign down a street. What I would do to have that video of 3 dudes just carry, I mean, look, they had a few too many, and they decided that they really needed a road sign. This is according to Senior Superintendent Kamil Golebiowski. Now, this was actually in Poland. The referee is Polish. Obviously, the entire crew was not Polish, but it ended up just working out that way. So maybe because he was in Poland, he was going to be able to take the street sign home. You know, I want to know, what was the street sign? That's something that's been left out here. Police officers were dispatched to the scene. All of the men were intoxicated and had over 1.5 per mil of alcohol in their blood. They were taken to a sobering up center. Wait a second. That's a thing? I've never heard of a sobering up center. I didn't know that was... Is this just me being American? Is this something that's like all over the EU or all over continental Europe or whatever? There's things called sobering up centers. Well, I mean, you get caught with your boys with a street sign. In their defense, Butt Road was definitely, you know, it was asking for it. That's a joke. I don't know the name of. I don't know what street sign they were grabbing. It's worth noting also that Frankowski wasn't alone. I don't want to just slate Bartosz Frankowski. He was set to be the video assistant referee for that match. And the assistant VAR guy was also there. Tomasz Musial was also part of this 3-man group. I don't know who the third person was. It's not part of the reporting for the Polish outlet TVP Sports. But Frankowski and Musial were both involved in this. So your lead VAR guy and your assistant VAR guy. Somebody could argue that this is just some really high-level team building. They're just trying to, I mean, screw sitting in a circle and talking about, that 2 truths and a lie. Let's go get drunk and steal a street sign. Okay, but this creates a giant problem for UEFA. You've got a Champions League qualifying match between Rangers and Dynamo Kyiv that is happening in less than, we're like 18, 17 hours after your 2 VAR guys have been arrested for stealing a street sign. So this is what happened after. The website listed Kwiatkowski. They found a different Polish guy as the VAR for the match, and Paweł Malich as his assistant. So they went and they found 2 other referees to take over as the VAR people during this match, and as far as I can tell, passed largely without incident. Now, Frankowski is also not a small deal. I mean, obviously, you're not going to be a small deal if you do end up being assigned to be a VAR guy for, a Champions League qualifying match. But he normally referees in the Polish league. He's somebody that has refereed multiple Champions League matches in the past. So this is surprising. It's not like he was some sort of unknown backup guy that they brought in. This is somebody that they definitely would have thought they'd be able to rely on to, not get so drunk that he steals a street sign. The story developed a little bit afterwards, and obviously this sort of tomfoolery was not going to be taken lightly, but it sounds like it's going to be taken incredibly seriously. The Polish FA vowed to terminate the contracts of both. The Polish Football Association of Referees Board will conduct a detailed analysis of the situation following reports of inappropriate conduct by 2, that's the Polish League referees, who are supposed to be working Champions League qualifier. If the above information is confirmed, the College of Referees will apply to the Secretary General of the Federation to terminate the contracts with the referees. It'll also be forwarded to the Disciplinary Commission of the Polish FA, which may decide to impose further disciplinary consequences. Look, brother, I don't know how much farther you're going to go with the disciplinary consequences than literally firing them already. But fair. I get it. I was talking about it earlier in this video, and it's the same as the referee that was celebrating with the other team in the sense that it breaks this it ruins your immersion, right? My immersion is that the officials don't exist as human beings outside of the matches themselves. They are impartial. And that is what you need to believe if you are going to be able to conduct an efficient league in Poland or be able to rely on the Polish FA to provide referees for Champions League ties. That's just the way that it has to work. Even though it's not true. Referees are people too. Sounds like some sort of weird online movement, but they are. And they have a beer with their friends every once in a while if they feel like that's something they want to do in their social circles. But I will say this. You can't do it the day before the match. You just can't. You got to get a nice early rest, right? Have a nice full day. Be healthy and of clear mind and not taking a few Tums trying to get over a hangover while you're working in the VAR, which that does actually hand you a new line. Anytime you get a VAR call against your team, you can just kind of come out and be like, oh, he's probably hungover. This is ridiculous. But they knew they fucked up. Both officials since apologized, and, their careers are probably over. And that obviously sucks. But a good rule of thumb is to never get so drunk that you try to steal a road sign, whether it's the day before a Champions League match or not. Right? Maybe they just got horribly unlucky. Maybe that urge to steal the road sign just came upon this one time when all the other times they got really drunk, they just went to sleep after watching Titanic and crying into their popcorn. I want popcorn now.